Hello, everyone. I hope you are well today. Thank you for joining me. Let me just hit live on our other platforms and check that everything is working. I think it is. I think we are all good. So thank you. This is AMs with Annette, Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m., covering a different thing each day. Today is Thursdays, which means it's our strategic chat session. Strategic chats is my open Q&A where you are free to ask me any question about your business or indeed about my business, and I will answer that. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining me for Strategic Chats, Cozy Sundays. Hello, it's always lovely to see you. Thank you for tuning in again. I do appreciate it. This is Strategic Chats. That means this session is entirely led by the questions that you ask. I have nothing pre-prepared this morning. So whichever questions you ask is what we cover off. Anything business related, anything related to the economy, I'm happy to answer those questions. For those of you that are tuning in, you do not know who I am. My name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional and financial strategist, and I help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. I have been in business for 11 years, running my business, so I have a wealth of experience and knowledge about business in general, about running a business, about sales, marketing, processes, systems, finances, whichever area you want to ask about. I'm happy to answer those where I can, and I will let you know if I do not know the answer and I don't have expertise in it, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have that are business related. So do make sure that you pop those in the chat. Make sure that you ask those questions, whichever platform you happen to be on, so that I can answer them. This session is entirely led by the questions that you ask. So if you have a business question that you would like someone else's opinion on, if there's something that you've been turning over in your mind, you're not quite sure about, please do ask that in the comments section and I will answer those questions for you. That is what this session is about. The King, lovely to see you. Kaya, lovely to have you on. Joshua, thank you for joining me today. Who else have we got? G. Miller, thank you for tuning in. Namul, thank you for joining me this morning. Like I said, this session is entirely led. Good morning, Tim. Lovely to see you again. Lovely to have you on this morning. Like I said, this session is entirely led by the questions that you ask, which means if you ask no questions at all, we have nothing to speak about. So please do ask any business questions that you may have in the comments. I'm happy to answer those. One thing that I will fill you in on that I heard about yesterday was that if you are in the UK and your area goes into local lockdown, if you have premises, there are going to be grants available for those businesses. So that is something that just a quick update for you if you're in that situation. That has just recently been announced. Cozy Sundays, I've got one. I just typed it. Not showing up in my feed there, Cozy Sundays. I've got you saying that you've got one and you just typed it, but I cannot see it popping up into my comment section. If you're able to maybe re-enter that, maybe copy and paste it back in, then that would be helpful. And then I can see what we have and I can answer those questions as well. So do let me know in the comments whichever questions you have that are business related. I would love to. You mean you'll type it now? Wonderful. Yeah, type it in now, Cozy Sundays, and I will answer that question. No problem at all. Anyone else who has a business related question, do let me know in the comments. It can be about your business or indeed about mine. I'm happy to answer anything on that as well. So do let me know in the comments. This is your open Q&A session. I am here to answer your questions. That is exactly why I am live today. Not alive. Why I am live today is to answer your questions, and that is what this session is entirely about. Of course, other days, Mondays to Wednesdays, I have completely pre-prepared content for these sessions, 11 a.m., whichever platform you are on. But Thursdays, it's over to you. It's whatever questions that you want answered is what I cover off today. So regardless of which platform you are on, please do ask in the comments. We are, of course, currently live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and of course, inside the Uncover Wealth community, my private community on Facebook, which, by the way, if you are not a member of, if you are a business owner, do make sure you join the Uncover Wealth community. There is incredible resources in there, and there is going to be an incredible week inside the Uncover Wealth community next week too. I am delivering all sorts of amazing trainings in there next week for the Wealth Lab. So do come over to the Uncover Wealth community if you are not already a member. Come in, answer the questions, hit join. You just need to go to Facebook and type Uncover Wealth Community into the search bar, find the group and join. Yeah, I am alive to answer your questions. Exactly, Tim. It's exactly. So let's see. Hello, Charlotte. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. Cozy Sunday is saying, if you buy a house, do you have to pay stamp duty now? As I'm sure they cancelled it. So in England, Cozy Sundays, what they did was they basically change the stamp duty thresholds, essentially. So below a certain level, you do not have to pay stamp duty, but above other levels, you do. So it's actually tiered stamp duty. So it's worth having a look at the tiers and seeing where you would fall. There's loads of stamp duty calculators you can use online as well to work out how much stamp duty you're due to pay. But different areas of the UK also have different rules on stamp duty, different levels of stamp duty, different amounts. So the announcements that you will have heard were in England, and it was up to a certain purchasing level. In Scotland, our rules were also changed, but different to the English rules. So wherever you are in the UK, make sure that you look at the rules specific for your part of the UK, and also it will depend on the value of the property you're buying as to whether you have to pay stamp duty or not. But like I say, all the online calculators are really quick and easy. If you just Google stamp duty calculator, you'll be able to put in the exact price, and it will tell you exactly how much you're required to pay in stamp duty when you do purchase a property. I know the housing market is going incredibly mad at the moment, but I also know that the mortgage side of things is quite interesting for people just now, particularly, of course, for people that have their own businesses. I know that lenders are looking incredibly negatively on business owners whose business has taken out a bounce back loan. That is very problematic for being problematic for a number of directors of UK businesses, because the lender is looking and saying, well, if you needed a bounce back loan, perhaps your business is therefore slightly less financially viable than it maybe was before, and therefore we're going to kind of downgrade you, as it were, when we're looking at the assessment for you getting a mortgage. So that's something to bear in mind as well, that is causing some issues for people at the moment. Grand Vitara says, why does Scotland want to leave England and Wales and then join with France and Germany? I can't answer that question. I want the union to stay. So I have no answer to that at all. I am pro UK. So yeah, I can't answer your question on that. Thank you, everyone who is joining me. Thank you for tuning in. This is my live business Q&A session where I answer any business questions that you may have, either about your own business or indeed about mine, about finances, the economy. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. So please do ask in the comments. This session is entirely led by your questions, and so therefore if no questions come in, I have nothing to speak about. But Cozy Sundays, thank you for that question. I hope that's answered you. If you have anything else in the follow-up, please do just ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer any follow-up that you might have on that, or any other question indeed as well. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in. I do appreciate it. We are, of course, live on whichever platform you are watching, Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. So do make sure that you mark that in your diary as well, so that we can hang out I can help and support you as well. Eloisa, good morning. It is absolutely lovely to see you. Eloisa is asking, what am I teaching in the Wealth Lab? So for those of you that don't know, the Wealth Lab is what I am hosting next week. The Wealth Lab, building your implementable profit plan. And that's basically what I am teaching. I am teaching business owners how to build a profit plan in their business. So a profit plan, I believe, is fundamental to the financial success of your business. It is fundamental to ensuring that you get more profit home from your business. And I, in all honesty, do not know how businesses can really operate at their maximum potential without a profit plan in place. So I believe a profit plan is incredibly core, and that is what I am teaching next week in the Wealth Lab. Now, if you want to join me for the Wealth Lab, the link is in the description to this video on most of our channels, apart from on TikTok and Instagram, where the link is in my bio. So do make sure you click on that link. But basically, we've got sessions over each day next week. Session 1, starting on Monday the 14th, is Living Your Dream Life Now. Session 2 on Tuesday is Plugging Money Leaks for Financial Freedom. Session 3 on Wednesday is Power Levers to Drive Revenue. Session 4 on Thursday is Bringing Home the Money. And on Friday, we have session 5, which is Small Changes for Big Profits. So I will step you through every day how to build up your profit plan under these headings, under these session titles. And at the end of the week, you will have a highly, highly implementable profit plan that you can go away and implement in your business for massively increased profits. So that is what the Wealth Lab is all about. Thank you for asking, Eloisa. I do massively appreciate it. Eloisa is saying, is it for business owners or can freelancers join as well? It is not just for business owners. If you are a freelancer, you will get massive value out of this too. So do make sure that you join. If you are a freelancer, you are more than welcome to join, whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, freelancer, sole trader, limited company, whichever permutation that you have. If you are running a business in that you are responsible for generating your own revenue and you are responsible for your own costs, then absolutely come and join the Wealth Lab. I highly recommend that you register for that. So thank you for asking, Eloisa. I appreciate that. And like I say, if anyone is watching and anyone is interested in joining that, then in most instances, the link is in the description to this video, apart from on TikTok and Instagram, where you will find the link in my bio to register for the Wealth Lab, building your implementable profit plan, starting on Monday the 14th. So I cannot wait to have you there. We already have about 250 people registered for that. So I'm really excited to take those people through that. If that is you and you are watching, I'm very, very excited for Monday. And if you have not registered yet, make sure you do, because it's going to be incredible. I am going to be delivering intense value throughout the whole of next week. And I cannot wait to share that with everyone that is joining. So thank you again for asking. You are welcome, Eloisa. No problem at all. So thank you everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for joining me, Pamela. Hello. Thank you for tuning in today. This is my Q&A session. This is where I'm here to answer any questions about your business, or indeed about mine, anything about the finances, the sales, the marketing, the profit, any area of business I'm happy to cover off. I've been in business for 11 years now, so I have experience in a lot of different areas. So I'm happy to answer any questions that I can and help and support you achieve the financial freedom that you want, achieve the business success that you want. That is my entire purpose and my entire reason for delivering you value. So do ask any questions that you may have in the comments. If we are out of questions, if that is all our questions that we have today, I will sign off, but I'm going to give a minute or two more just to make sure, in case we have any other questions coming through today. I'm going to take a drink of my water, and hopefully we'll get some more typing happening. But if not, that I'll then sign off. Tim is saying, do I know roughly how long each of the sessions for the Wealth Lab will be? Yes, Tim, allow about 45 minutes for each session. We may go less than that, but that will give you that will make sure that you don't miss anything. So If you allow 45 minutes, then you should be all good for that, Tim. Thank you for asking that. What about, we've got another question from Cozy Sundays. If you're able to get 100 grand, what business would you open? Oh, interesting question. So if I was given 100 grand, what business would I open? This is really interesting, actually, because I think that many business owners have or potential business owners have a stumbling block, thinking they can't achieve what they want to achieve because they don't have the cash sitting in the bank to do it. So I actually, if I had 100K, I actually, in all honesty, don't think I'd do anything differently than I do now, apart from I'd probably just hire more staff in my own business. So I would probably just be more aggressive on hiring and getting more people in. So I don't think I would actually open a new business if it were me. Now, if it was somebody else and they were given 100K and told to open a business, I think you have to deal with that the same way you deal with any decision to open a business, whether you have a pot of money or not. And that is, what am I good at? What am I passionate about? And what is going to be the long term for me? Because a business is not a quick win or a quick fix, regardless of whether you have starting capital or not. And so making sure that you open a business and you start a business that is going to be long term for you, that's going to give you that longevity, and that you're going to be excited and interested in every single day, is actually what's way more important than the startup capital. Now, if you have startup capital, can you get bigger faster? Yeah, sure you can. You don't need to bootstrap quite as much. However, when you have startup capital, there is the issue that people typically spend money on stuff they don't need to. They typically overspend. So that's an issue too, making sure the budget is controlled with startup capital. But, typically my advice, whether you have startup funds or not, is the same. It's to go out and start a business in an area that you love. It's in an area that plays to your strengths, and go and enjoy it. It's to produce your content as much as you can. It's to, be all in with your clients and your customers as much as you can. And that would be my advice, whether you have 100K for a new business or you don't. Now, if I was given 100K for a new business, what would I do? Probably just hire faster, just hire more staff. That's basically what I would do. Take more people on board. That would be what I would do. Because he says, agreed, I would upgrade my podcast and keep at least 70% of that money. Yeah, exactly. Most people, if they get given a chunk of money, it disappears. And you know what, that is why lottery winners end up broke a few years later, because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to budget, and they don't know how to manage it. And incidentally, that is why most business owners end up with not the profit that they should be having, and not the take home they should be having, is because of this budgeting aspect, that actually a lot of people are not sure where to put their money, how to direct it fully, and what that should look like in their business, and what their take home should be. And incidentally, this also ties into the Wealth Lab, because this is one of the things that we're going to be teaching next week in the Wealth Lab as well. So again, if this is an area that interests you, you're not registered for the Wealth Lab, do make sure that you join me for that. The link is in my bio on TikTok and Instagram, and if you are on any of the other platforms, the link is in the description to this video as well. Eloisa is saying, are we going to get a worksheet if we attend the Wealth Lab? Yes, absolutely, Eloisa. So when you register, you get a whole workbook that comes out by email to you. So make sure that you register. You'll get that in your inbox. It's a full pack of what we're going to be covering during the Wealth Lab, so you can do it as we go along. It's got some exercises in there for you to do as well. So that will definitely be coming out if you are registered. Cozy Sunday says, would I consider joining the TV show The Apprentice? No. In no way would I consider going on The Apprentice. First of all, I'm not willing to give up part of my business for anyone. I am not willing to take on Lord Sugar as a partner in any way in my business. So no, I would not. I don't see any upside for me at all in terms of going on something like The Apprentice, in all honesty. I know a few people that have. I am friends with a couple of people who've been on The Apprentice, but it's not for me. It's definitely not something that I would consider at all. And apart from anything else, I wouldn't want to be away from my family for that length of time and my kids for that length of time. I just don't see the upside. I only see negatives, in all honesty, for me personally. Of course, for many people, it may be the absolute right move, but not for me personally. I don't feel like I would gain anything from that at all. No. Okay. I was just checking some comments there, but they're not relevant. So thank you everyone who is tuning in and joining me. I do appreciate it. This is my open Q&A session where I answer any questions about your business or indeed about mine. So thank you for tuning in and joining me today. I do appreciate it very, very much. I'm going to sit on for another minute or two just to see if we've got any other questions coming in. Britt and do you think the UK economy can stand up through another lockdown if it happens? Great question. I was actually speaking to a client about this yesterday. I think we've got a real problem. I think that the government will probably do anything it can to avoid another countrywide or nationwide lockdown, because they're not going to want to or be able to pay out things like furlough again, grants. That's going to be horrendous for the economy. I mean, we're already in a pretty horrendous place, in all honesty, with, you know, the debt being higher than GDP. And we're not in a good place financially anyway. Obviously, we're in a recession. So do I think the UK economy can stand through another lockdown? I'm very worried about that, in all honesty. That is an area that really concerns me, because if I were the Chancellor right now, and the Chancellor is actually the same age as me as well, so this makes me think about this a lot. You know, if I'd perhaps gone into the politics sphere, maybe I would be Chancellor. If I was Chancellor right now, I have no idea what I would be planning for if another lockdown were to happen, because no, I think we'd be in dire economic straits. We're already not in great economic straits, but I think it would be an incredibly challenging time for the country. We're already going to be paying this off for years to come. We're already gonna have tax hikes in the future. This is already going to be getting paid for by us, our children, and our children's children by future tax raises. So should we have more debt that we have to incur, it's going to cause an even bigger issue. Cozy Sandy says, so why doesn't the whole world just print more money? That in itself causes massive economic issues. So it's not, unfortunately, as simple as that. I wish it were, but that in itself devalues everything, causes issues with currencies, causes issues with inflation as well. So unfortunately, not a quick fix there. Let's see, do we have any more questions coming through? Would I ever take Alan Sugar's place as host of The Apprentice? That's something I've not even ever considered, Tim. Possibly not in that format. What I would like to do, actually, in reality, is I don't know if any of you have seen the TV show, which I think is called The Prophet, by Marcus Lemones, I think is his surname, is the host on that show. And that is, I think it's on CBS, or it's in one of the US channels. I would like to do something similar to that. Not quite the same, but I would like to do something similar to that. He basically goes into businesses, he gives them funding, and then he helps turn the business around. Now, I would like to do something similar to that, slightly different, possibly, but probably not The Apprentice, Tim. But you know, something on that sphere wouldn't be crazy. Yeah, Britt says quantitative easing does not work. Yeah, that's exactly what Cozy Sundays was speaking about, was that printing more money, was that quantitative easing side of things. Yeah, no one wants to pay £100 for a loaf of bread. Exactly. They definitely don't. No, they definitely don't. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I have very much enjoyed this session today, so I appreciate you tuning in and listening. Remember, of course, I am live Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. So do make sure you pop that in your diary. And of course, if you have not already registered for the Wealth Lab, few people have been asking about that today. Make sure you do register. If you are running a UK, or not even a UK, if you're running a business, it's going to be for, regardless of whether you're in the UK or elsewhere in the world, this will support and help you. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, freelancer, self-employed, running a limited company, whatever that is, please do make sure you register for the Wealth Lab, building your implementable profit plan. I cannot wait to teach this next week. It's going to be incredible, and it's going to deliver just insane value. So I cannot wait for that. Thank you everyone though who has tuned in today. Thank you for all your questions. They always make our session. I cannot run this session without your questions. So thank you so much for asking all of those. I appreciate it very much, and I will speak